Hi everyone, if you're just tuning in, this is the second video in the series. The first video walked through installation of the exterior items like solar, roof fan, the air conditioner, and more. I put a link in the description below to that video. For this video, we move back to the inside and walk through framing the walls and ceiling, running electrical wires, and spraying in insulation. So keep watching. First up is framing out the walls and ceiling. This van is a Ram ProMaster, and as you look at it, you'll start to see logical places to start building out the framing. For the ceiling framing, pretty much all that's needed is to put furring strips on the roof support crossbars. Once that's complete, the finished ceiling boards will attach directly to those. And for the walls, I chose the horizontal beams to attach framing to first. I used slightly thicker framing material on the middle beam to ensure the other framing extends out past some of the van's metal pieces that stick out further. This was a decision on my part to forgo a little bit of space in the van and have a flat wall rather than a bump out for some of the van parts that stick out too far. Once the horizontal pieces were in place, I attached the vertical furring strips floor to ceiling, and this is what the finished shiplap wall boards will attach directly to. The other thing you'll see here is a space without furring strips for the bed platform to tuck into, which allows more length for the bed. I built this van with a side-to-side bed rather than front to back to optimize space usage. In RVs, there's a standard mattress size called a short queen, and by having the bed tuck in like this on both sides, it allows a short queen mattress to be used without the need to cut anything down to size, either the mattress or the bedding. The bed should fit anyone about 6'2" or shorter. If you're taller than that and sleep straight, this is probably not going to be great for you. I'll show you how it comes together in a later video. In terms of wiring, I won't really go into a lot of detail here, but the different features of the van require having a 12 volt and 120 volt system. This allows some things to run directly off of the battery at 12 volts without needing the inverter to be on, but also allows the 120 volt outlets and other higher energy usage items like the hot water heater, microwave, etc. to function when the inverter is on. I will say at this point it's critical before starting this step that you have the layout and the design of the van finalized. You should know where everything is going so you'll be able to put the lights, switches, outlets, and everything else in the right place. Physically running the wiring is really pretty easy. You just run it along the walls or the ceiling to wherever it needs to go. The spray insulation will keep it all in place, but where the wiring passed through holes in the van's metal columns, I use plastic conduit to protect it from rubbing against the metal due to the vibration of the vehicle. I ran wiring to locations for 12 volt and 120 volt outlets. I also ran specific wiring for the solar, air conditioner, and a few other appliances. The wiring was specific to the appliance's electrical needs based on what the manufacturer suggested. I ran all the wiring back to just above the driver's side wheel well in the back of the van, as this is where the electrical center will be when it gets finished out. Things like the fuse box, breaker, batteries, inverter, solar charger, etc. will be located here. I'll cover that in a later video as well. The next step was insulation. This was one of the more stressful things I did to the van, but turned out great. The spray foam insulation sets up quickly, clogs the nozzles quickly, and gets everywhere. So you have to have all the surfaces covered that you don't want to overspray, and that includes you. You have to move quickly, apply in thin layers so it doesn't warp the side panels of the van. So tape everything off, put plastic where you need to, dress up like Walter White, and go to town. The spraying is really very quick, only takes about 20 to 30 minutes. It's the prep and cleanup that take more time. All this challenge is worth it in my opinion, as the spray foam has a very good R value for the thickness. The closed cell insulation provides a vapor barrier, structural rigidity, and as mentioned before, locks all the wiring in place so that it doesn't move. This type of spray foam insulation is expensive and a bit challenging to apply, but in my opinion, well worth it given all the benefits. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Next up in video 3 in this build series, I'll show finishing the ceiling, framing the shower and toilet box, and finishing off the walls with shiplap.